Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Yeah. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 Young and hungry for life.
Oh my goodness! It's cold outside. The thermostat in the dark horse is reading 12 degrees, chat. 12 degrees. We're going to throw an extra log on the fireplace in my mother's basement. Not looking forward to the snow, but did WWE do enough to get you excited and looking forward to the Royal Rumble next Saturday? The jury is still out on that one. But Saturday night's main event. Montreal, 2 hours, hot crowd, some great wrestling. I thought WWE hit a nice home run tonight. It's a lot better than SmackDown last night, I'll tell you that. I don't know how they could have gotten any worse coming out of last night's SmackDown. Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, some interesting developments there. We now know who Rhea and Io will be defending the titles against next. And Sami Zayn. Yes, I know. Sami's not the most popular guy. But Sami Zayn is going to the Rumble and is the #1 contender for the WWE title. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about it tonight. And when I get to the venue on this Saturday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Saturday night's main event. January 24, 2026. Post-show, I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the beautiful Off the Script venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me here on this Saturday night, wherever you may be. SmackDown was largely awful, and I had absolutely no excitement coming into this show, just like I have been with a lot of the WWE programming as of late. So I came into tonight's Saturday night's main event not really the most excited. I am not really all that excited for the Royal Rumble either. There's just a different vibe, a different feel about the Royal Rumble this year. Feel like WWE has seemingly forgot that there was even a Royal Rumble to begin with. 2 hours tonight, and I felt like WWE hit a nice home run. It wasn't like a big bomb over the right field wall that went 450 feet, but it was a home run nonetheless, and I do think that WWE gave us a very good show tonight. Honestly, I thought what they did was give us 4 matches. We got some very good pro wrestling tonight. Predictable. But WWE has now set up, at least for Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes, a nice, interesting aspect as we go into the Royal Rumble next Saturday. That was the big thing about tonight's show. I think the main event and the Fatal 4-Way, the number one contender match with Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Randy Orton. I think largely many people who watch the weekly television shows knew that Sami Zayn was going to enter tonight and walk out the winner and go to Saudi Arabia, where he's very much over and looked upon as the guy there. I genuinely think everybody kind of assumed that Sami Zayn was going to win this number one contender match and challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Now, is Sami Zayn going to become the new WWE Champion? No. No, Drew McIntyre is not winning that belt and then immediately dropping it to someone like Sami Zayn so quickly. The big story tonight was not that. Predictable as that may be, some of you might like it, some of you might not. That wasn't the big story. The big story was Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. I was excited to see this one-on-one match because you got someone who is super athletic and unbelievable at what he does in Jacob Fatu. And then you got Cody Rhodes, who I've always deemed one of the best in-ring storytellers of the modern era. He's great. No matter what you think of Cody Rhodes or how he carries himself or how WWE has taken the plunger and shoved Cody Rhodes down our throats the past several years, he is the guy. He is their face, the ace, but he also is one of the best storytellers in all of pro wrestling. So I was looking forward to the dynamic that these two guys were going to create tonight. I didn't really think it would result in a non-match. Although WWE kind of, I don't want to say lowballed us, but they certainly pulled a trick or a card out of their sleeve tonight. And they gave us a Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes quote-unquote match that never really got started. The bell never sounded, and we never really got those guys in the ring physically wrestling in between the ring. It was all over the arena. It was a big brawl. It started the show off very hot and very chaotic. And it ended up being a no contest. The match never even got started, so no winner was declared. Some of you might be disappointed with that. I didn't really look at it as, oh man, I'm disappointed. This shit sucks. How could WWE do that? One of the notions going around was, well, who wins? Does Cody win or does Jacob Fatu win? Jacob Fatu just came back to WWE programming on January 9th. This was the first time we've seen him in a month and a half, almost 2 months. WWE took him off TV because he needed dental surgery. He comes back, and the rumor is he's got some major plans in 2026. They're going to take him and they're going to shoot him right to the top of the card because not only does WWE need to start building for the future, and Jacob Fatu is very much a part of that future, SmackDown desperately needs fresh, top new guys at the top of the card. And Jacob Fatu certainly fits that bill. Fatu was not losing his first match back since late November. It was never going to happen. Cody Rhodes just lost the WWE Championship inside of 3 stages of hell stipulation to Drew McIntyre. They were not going to beat Cody Rhodes twice. You're lucky you got Cody Rhodes dropping the title to begin with, which I was told was a very last-minute decision. So coming into this, there was no real winner and no real outcome, except the one that you got tonight. Now, the show did start off very chaotic. They brawled all over the arena. They brawled around ringside. They brawled in the mezzanine. They brawled in the crowd. And then it was ultimately stopped by Drew McIntyre, who came out there and asserted his dominance as the WWE champion. Drew McIntyre came out and he basically focused his attention on Sami Zayn because that's where the match was always going to go into the Royal Rumble. But Cody Rhodes has been making, comments that he wants the WWE Championship back, and he's blaming Jacob Fatu for that. And Drew McIntyre has also been kind of laying it into Cody Rhodes. He put a picture of himself that he labeled the real American dream last night on Friday Night SmackDown. He's been telling Cody Rhodes that he's not getting a rematch, and the only way he gets the title back is if he starts from the bottom, which means he's got to enter the Royal Rumble and somehow, some way win it for a third straight year in a row, which I hope is not the case. I don't think that will end up being the case. I do genuinely think that Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. But Drew McIntyre has been kind of low-blowing Cody Rhodes, but also at the same time kind of throwing in Sami Zayn's face as well. He came out there and asserted his dominance as the WWE champion and basically laid both guys out. He's the guy. He's the man. He's the champion. He's going to do anything he can to stop this Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes freight train coming at him. WWE went about it the right way. Neither guy could have afforded a loss. But what this does now, and the angle that they shot tonight, the non-match that they gave us tonight, the non-winner and non-outcome that they gave us tonight, it certainly opens up a nice little box of possibilities. Now, this is definitely going to make their inclusion in the Royal Rumble a lot more interesting because we never got a winner. And I'm assuming Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu will be there at the end of the Royal Rumble in some way, shape, or form. I do think if I'm WWE and they really want to play this shit up and they really want to throw the unpredictability card at us, WWE, if I'm Drew McIntyre and I'm going to Nick Aldis, I'm going to WWE, and I am not doing anything out of the ordinary. I'm just bringing Nick Aldis factual information. I don't know if WWE is thinking along these lines, but Drew McIntyre is a very snarky, very kind of slimy heel. But he's also a heel that kind of surrounds himself in truth. He's not wrong, but he definitely has a case to be made here if he wants to run with it. WWE had suspended Drew McIntyre and had Drew McIntyre forced to apologize to a referee after a Claymore kick. He also had to pay a fine, and all of this was brought to his attention, and he had to do all this to get back to WWE television as a bargaining chip to get back to television and get Cody Rhodes one-on-one for the WWE Championship. If I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm going right to Nick Aldis. I'm having Cody Rhodes fined and suspended. I'm having Jacob Fatu fined and suspended. And I'm having Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes both pulled from the Royal Rumble. Why should they be on television? If I'm Drew McIntyre and I'm looking at this, why should they be on television? Why should they not suffer the same fate and the same punishment as Drew McIntyre had to suffer? Why are they not going to go through the same thing after they just did something worse than what Drew McIntyre did? So I'm not sure if WWE is going to play up that story, but it certainly could come up. And knowing Drew McIntyre, he's not going to let that one slide. So I'm just throwing that out there. Now, none of that could happen. Cody Rhodes could win the Royal Rumble. I hope not. Jacob Fatu could certainly win the Royal Rumble. I would not mind that. Neither one of them could win the Royal Rumble, and we'll see them in the Elimination Chamber. I'm not sure what direction WWE is going to go there. This could also lead to Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, Part 3. I don't want to leave that off the table because that's certainly very much still on the table. This could be a gateway into Cody and Roman 3. Fatu is a part of the family. This may be something that Cody deals with now, something that happens in the Royal Rumble, something there could transpire between all of these guys, including Roman. And then this is a gateway to Cody and Roman 3 at the Royal Rumble. How we get there or at WrestleMania from the Royal Rumble on. I don't know how we get there, but it certainly could be a gateway. It's not off the table yet, even after reports that they've moved away from it. It's still very much in play. But again, I do think Roman is going to win the Rumble, and I think Roman is going to wrestle CM Punk at WrestleMania. We could realistically be looking at Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Jacob Fatu in a triple threat match. That's what the current direction is, according to the reports. Now, WWE's been doing a very good job as of late, over the last 48 hours, of building Jacob Fatu back up as a credible contender for the WWE Championship. He needs to be in that discussion, and strides and steps are being taken to get him into that discussion. It started last night with that great sit-down face-to-face with Cody Rhodes. I've been very on point, as far as my opinion, as far as looking at Jacob Fatu and the time away from television that he had to suffer. I need to see a little bit of effort from WWE to get him back into that. This guy's ready for a main event. This guy should be in the WWE title discussion. This guy could certainly main event WrestleMania. Again, I'm not completely there yet. After last night, it moved me a little bit closer to saying that and wanting that. After tonight, again, it moved me a little bit more forward in wanting that and seeing that. Jacob Fatu looks incredible. If you guys saw him tonight, he's in the best shape of his fucking career. I've never seen him look as good as he did tonight. He looks fit. He looks slim. He looks like he's ready for a WrestleMania. So if WWE continues to do what they're doing with Jacob Fatu, I have no problem with him being there when the time comes challenging for the WWE Championship. And it looks like with the way that we got the non-finish tonight, WWE kind of wanted to throw it out there to see what people were feeling, engaging people's interests. Cody and Jacob Fatu, we got the non-finish, we got the non-match. WWE might not want to give it away so soon, and they want to try and preserve it as we get closer to WrestleMania. They might want to keep these guys out of the ring together so that when we do get to WrestleMania, it is preserved and it's fresh and it's something new. That's also another way that I looked at it. WWE didn't want to give us this first match right now, and they want to kind of bottle that up and preserve it and save it for when it really matters most. And we'll just tell this big angle tonight going into the Rumble, and we'll create some unpredictability and some chaos, which I also like. And if I was in the writing room, I'd probably go with that option over having them wrestle tonight. What would wrestling have accomplished tonight? We would have got a great 20-minute match, and that was basically it. If we got a great 20-minute match between these guys, it would result in the same outcome that we got with no match. McIntyre would have showed up, and McIntyre would have fucked things up. So they opted not to do the match. They opted to start the show with a little bit of chaos and unpredictability, give us no match, and have McIntyre fuck these guys up in the end anyway. I thought what they did was perfect. I thought what they did was absolutely perfect, and I am very much in favor of preserving this. If this is what your direction is going to be going into WrestleMania, I want to preserve this and keep it as fresh and as new and as unique as possible. You don't want to give it away before we get to Las Vegas. So I very much enjoyed what they did tonight. We'll go over how everything transpired in a little bit. The Women's Tag Team Championships were on the line. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan and Liv Morgan, not Raquel Rodriguez. She was there, but Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day. They were the challengers here. Liv and Roxanne were against Rhea and Io. And we got Rhea and Io retaining the championships tonight. Again, not surprising. And I do feel that with them as the champions, they may actually walk into WrestleMania as the tag team champions, and we may get a conglomeration of all these teams together in some big multi-woman warfare at WrestleMania. Now, I don't know what the direction is. Again, I can't really put my finger on it on why WWE is so obsessed with women's tag team wrestling all of a sudden. I don't know where this desire came from to showcase women's tag team wrestling in the way WWE has been showcasing women's tag team wrestling. Can't figure it out. I don't know if it's an AEW thing and they're trying to shove it in AEW's face with their great division. AEW isn't doing anything with their women's tag team championship, so I don't know why you have to make a point to throw it in the other company's face. The WWE largely has ignored the women's tag team championships. They've been irrelevant for the last 7 or 8 years. Nobody gives a shit. Now you want me to all of a sudden get on board with what's going on here because you put them on Rhea and Io. All you're doing is taking away from the actual Women's World Championship, which I do feel a lot of these women aren't even really a tag team, and a lot of them are just singles wrestlers parading around as tag teams. I would much rather Rhea and Io be challenging for the right to win the Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania, but here we are. The big story of this was the fact that Raquel Rodriguez was out there, and she got involved. I don't know if that's going to play a factor in the deterioration of the Judgment Day from this point on. But Stephanie Vaquer came back, and she is now cleared. The ankle injury that was, the bone bruise or whatever the injury was, is now healed, and we may actually get this sooner rather than later between Stephanie and Raquel. So she was there to save Rhea and Io, help them retain the tag team championships. Again, a very good, very energetic match that could have resulted in a fucking disastrous outcome because there was one major botch waiting to happen, which we'll definitely go over. But I thought what they did was very, very good. Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, they wrestled tonight, and I wasn't really excited about the announcement made literally 24 hours ago between these two. AJ, it certainly feels way too early for him to retire. I don't know what WWE is going to do there. We got news on that. Maybe WWE has a backup plan as far as AJ and Gunther goes so that we don't have to see AJ retire at the Royal Rumble. I don't know what's going on, but AJ and Nakamura, they delivered a very good wrestling match. Probably Nakamura's best match in fucking years. And they went out there and produced a better match than they did at WrestleMania 34 for the WWE Championship. Nothing was on the line here. And they produced a better match than they did than the one that they wrestled at for WrestleMania 34. So that was a very good match. Again, nothing really on the line, nothing tangible there, nothing of substance, but it was a great pro wrestling match. And then Sami Zayn won the number one Contenders Fatal 4-Way. He's going to the Royal Rumble to challenge Drew McIntyre for the world title. We'll go over that. Montreal was very happy. I'm surprised how we got the ending. I thought Sami was going to pin Trick. He ended up pinning Damian, which was a surprise. Not that I'm really sitting here opposing the ending. I just thought with the back and forth we got with Trick Williams and Randy Orton and Trick Williams and Sami Zayn that I do think WWE, or I did think rather, that WWE was going to find a way to humble Trick Williams at the end, but they ended up pinning Damian Priest and Sami Zayn's going to the Royal Rumble. All in all, this was a very good Saturday night's main event, and I do think that it was the best Saturday night's main event from an in-ring perspective that we've seen in the last few ones at least. But I thought tonight was an enjoyable 2 hours. We're going to go over it tonight right here on Off the Script. This is your Saturday night's main event post-show for January 24th, 2026. You guys are great. I'm not looking forward to the snow, though. Like, I'm legitimately dreading the snow. I don't know what the news reports are saying. It's 12 degrees right now. And the report is saying anywhere between 16 and 24 inches of snow up here. I hate the winter, man. I am genuinely envious and jealous of everybody that lives in a warm climate right now. It's awful. This is legitimately the worst time of the year. It's dark. It's fucking cold. It's depressing. It is getting darker later, though, which, I mean, slowly but surely we'll be getting back to normal. But at least it's not getting dark at fucking 4 o'clock anymore, and I could still be awake at 5:30 and the sun is still out. So hopefully you guys are safe. Hopefully you guys got enough food stocked. You got some things to do. I know I'll probably be on Arc Raiders tomorrow, just wasting the day away with my lattes and some work here, the usual. But I hope you guys are safe and you got something planned for tomorrow, man. It's supposed to be a fucking disaster outside, so I'm hoping it's not as bad as what they're reporting. I genuinely hope I wake up and there's no snow, which that would be great. I don't think that's going to happen, but hopefully you guys are safe and you got some nice homebound activities ready to go. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight we're sponsored by Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/scripts. They are with us all week. And if you guys need any gaming peripherals, controllers, headsets, you name it, Xbox, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and the Switch 2, Turtle Beach has got you covered. Use that code SCRIPT at checkout. TurtleBeach.com/script. Save 10% off. We'll go over my friends over at Turtle Beach a little bit later on in the show. Go and check out all the great content on the channel. We were live for all the major weekly shows this week. Tuesday Night Titans killed it on Tuesday. We have our Rumble preview and predictions episode coming up on this coming Tuesday. Go check out the Trey Miguel TNA exposing AEW video. You guys killed it on that video, so go and check it out. Everything you need is listed on the homepage. Continue to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And turn on the bell and hit that subscribe button as well. Super chats are open. It's the best way to support the show. Get them on in, and we will definitely hang out at the end of the show. So thank you guys for getting your super chats in already. And like I said, as soon as the stream is over and we finish the actual post show, we'll hang out and read through all of your questions, comments, and concerns. How you guys feeling about this WWE 2K26 rollout? I'm not excited about it. I was kind of rolling my eyes. Last night we got the Attitude Era cover, and tonight WWE gave us the Monday Night War cover. So they're definitely going and doing a whole Attitude Era theme for WWE 2K26, which will probably bleed into the showcase. And it'll probably bleed into, the career mode and all that stuff. But I'm not really a big fan of them kind of going back to the Attitude Era. That's the sole focus of the game. How many times are we going to relive the glory days of the Attitude Era? It's like nobody wants to play as the current stars anymore. Nobody cares about the current product anymore. The product is so fucking cold and there's nothing interesting going on with today's talent and today's product that you got to go back and relive the fucking Attitude Era all over again on a game that they barely change on a year-to-year basis. Then you got content creators and influencers fucking glazing the shit out of this thing, and there's nothing different. And then the game ends up dying in 6 fucking months. Less than that. What do they realistically change? How much better can they make the game look? It's like they don't know how to fucking rob you every single fucking year. It's like Call of Duty for wrestling. Nothing really changes. It's the same fucking game at the end of the day. I don't know how you guys feel about it, man. I honestly hate it. I honestly hate it. The commercialization and the corporate fucking greed of everything is just becoming so obnoxious and just offensive. It's just right in your face. Why can't you take one fucking game and build upon it year over year and add to an existing game instead of putting something else out? Like, I would buy one game and gladly pay for a fucking $30, whatever, year over year just to fucking update the game. They're asking for $130 fucking dollars for a brand new edition, all because they got Hulk Hogan and the NWO and Eric Bischoff and the Monday Night Wars on the cover. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just very sad. Nothing is the same anymore. Nothing feels genuine. Nothing feels the same anymore. Felt that way about Call of Duty, man. Basically, Black Ops 7 is Black Ops 6. Black Ops 7 plays a lot better than Black Ops 6 because Black Ops 6 was terrible. So they had to fix the game going into the new year. But they basically charged you for a huge DLC at full price. That's what they did. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're charging you for DLC additions, and they're asking you to pay for a completely full-price game year over year. I don't understand that. I don't know how people fall for it, but I stopped buying WWE 2K games. Nothing is different about them. The controls are clunky. The mechanics are fucking... It's as stiff as fucking anything, man. I feel like I'm moving underwater. I move so slow. Nothing is fluid. That's where AEW fucked up. I genuinely feel that's where AEW fucked up. AEW had the right model for their video game, and they fucking failed. They didn't put any promotion behind it. They didn't put any energy into it. They gave you a bare bones product, and they got bare bones results. That's the way that they should have went. The old games are still fucking classic today, and they did nothing to enhance anything about what we loved about those games to begin with. They thought they can get away with nostalgia and nostalgia only, and they had nobody with a thought, nobody with a brain to really take it to the next level. They thought they could sell it and get away with it basically by having the same engine and then putting nothing into it. And then plus the AW product is fucking absolute dog shit nowadays. Who wants to even support the company with the way that they act and the product that they're putting on television? They don't give you a reason to care about their talent either. WWE's not giving you a reason to care about their talent. That's why they're asking you to go back and play as fucking Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. It's ridiculous. One of these days, a company's going to come out of nowhere that nobody's heard of and create a pro wrestling game that blows everybody out of the water. What that is, I don't know. It may actually be in development right now. It may be something that is going to come to light soon. I have no idea. Someone guide me in the right direction. I would love to play a brand new pro wrestling game and kind of get lost in it and feel what I did back in the day. None of these games are delivering that whatsoever. WWE delivered Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu to start Saturday night's main event. We got a video package that opened the show. What is with the theme music on Saturday night's main event now? Why did they get rid of the traditional Saturday night's main event theme? They have opted to go with some AI, very generic bullshit. What is the theme music for this song? They played the original Saturday night's main event theme during like a coming up graphic for one of the matches. But they got this R&B or kind of rap beat over the Saturday night's main event intro. Like, I don't understand what they did. Saturday night's main event is supposed to be old school. It's supposed to be what is old is new again with a modern twist. Yet WWE is delivering the same musical garbage that they deliver on their weekly shows that has absolutely no emotional connection or any vibe with the current product at all. I don't know how you guys look at it. I listened to that and I'm like, what am I listening to? Quavo? Bro, they got to get rid of that shit. That shit does not fit fucking Saturday night's main event. What an awful decision. So we got Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu opening the show. Joe Tessitore was supposed to host this with Stephanie McMahon. Joe Tessitore got grounded in Detroit due to inclement weather. And Stephanie McMahon was talking about it being minus 7 degrees outside. And if you threw a bucket of water outside, it would legitimately turn into dust. That's how cold it is outside. I'm genuinely curious if she actually went to go do that science experiment herself outside. I'd love to see that. I'd actually love to see that most of the WWE weekly television that we get. But we got Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu to open the show. Jacob Fatu looked incredible. I know you guys watched along with me tonight. He looked fucking great. He looked in the best shape of his career. He's trim. He's slim. He almost looks like he's ready to go an hour in the Royal Rumble. He's ready to be in the WrestleMania main event. Good for him. So Fatu, he is walking through the backstage and he's cutting his promo. I love that about Jacob Fatu. He just lets everybody just kind of in onto who he is and what he's thinking before he goes out there. I think Jacob Fatu's got one of the better presentations in WWE. Cody Rhodes comes out, big ovation. He's wearing his really obnoxious looking big skull mask helmet. And Cody is walking down the aisle. Fatu jumped Rhodes as he climbed into the ring. So he gets on the top turnbuckle and he's ready to do his whoa with the audience in Montreal. And Fatu attacks him as he jumps on the top rope during his entrance. And the two guys start brawling. So the referee was knocked over right away. The bell hasn't even rung yet. So we got no referee. These guys are brawling all over the ring. Officials quickly flood the ringside area, try to calm it down for what happened here. Security then arrived and started pulling these guys apart. And they were already well into fighting anyway. So Fatu went into the offense early here, and he leapt off the ring post, taking out Cody. He took out officials and security. Now, he did like a springboard backflip. He jumped from one rope to the next, and then a moonsault out to the outside. Again, Jacob Fatu does things that a lot of people on this roster just don't do. So to see a 250-pound guy doing that type of shit, springboarding like a luchador into a fucking moonsault off the top rope, I mean, it's physically impressive to see, and it gives you a glimpse as to why WWE might want him in the WrestleMania main event, because that shit's going to get over. So he does this springboard leap off the ring post, taking out the security officials and Cody Rhodes. Rhodes got to his feet, and then they start brawling up the ramp. Rhodes threw Fatu back into the ring, and he clotheslined him immediately back outside after he threw him back into the ring. Rhodes landed a suicide dive. He jumps onto the announce desk. He starts posing. He clears the desk. Fatu tried to get out through the crowd. Rhodes followed, and then he starts brawling with Fatu into the crowd. Fatu backdropped Rhodes onto the concrete. Rhodes got up. He tossed him into some road cases. Fatu then takes Rhodes and dumps him into the lower bowl seating, and they fight up the steps to the concessions area. So now they're where you buy popcorn and merchandise, and they're on the concessions part of the building. Rhodes starts throwing some garbage cans at all of the officials and all of the referees that are following this chaos. So he threw some garbage cans. Jamie Noble is there, one of the senior officials, senior producers of WWE. He starts begging them to stop. Fatu starts choking Cody, and a security guard who got in the way, I don't know who this guy was, probably some local independent talent. This guy got fucking blasted with a choke slam through the merchandise table, and Fatu took out this geek. Rhodes fought back, and the fight moved back into the arena, back into the audience. They brought back down the steps with Fatu taking Cody Rhodes and legitimately bending his body around the guardrails in the audience. So they made their way back to the floor. There is a ton of security guards out there now, and they're all just kind of waving their hands, and they're not really doing much to stop these two guys. They climbed onto two boxes. So Cody and Fatu are standing on some production crates, and we get a security guard who got in the way and got tossed out to the floor. Another guy got stuck in between them. I don't know what this guy was thinking. He legitimately sandwiched his way in between Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, and he got thrown through a fucking table. Again, I don't know why he decided to do that. That was his own fault. All of a sudden, they're still there. Drew McIntyre shows up, and he did what all these geeks, one guy, all these geeks out there trying to stop this chaos from 15 minutes ago. Drew McIntyre, one guy, did something that all of these guys could not do. And he stops it. He took out Fatu. He takes out Fatu and then power bombs Cody Rhodes off of the boxes and through the table. McIntyre then wandered over to the ringside area. He climbed inside the ring, and he was smiling and relishing in the job well done, taking out both Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. I thought the brawl was fun. Now, you basically got a match without officially getting a match. This was basically a no DQ match, street fight, false count anywhere, all in one. We got no rules. They brawled in the ring, they brawled around the ring, they brawled in the crowd, they brawled in the concessions, it ended in the crowd. I thought what WWE did here was smart. They gave you a match. They gave you a headline bill of Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, but they did not give away too much. They basically sold you on the fact that Jacob Fatu was upset over the comments that Cody Rhodes made last night about him costing Cody the championship. It was his actions. He wasn't thinking. He acted. He acted and he didn't do any thinking whatsoever. He attacked Drew McIntyre, and then he attacked Cody Rhodes. Now, I blame Cody Rhodes for Jacob Fatu attacking him, because if he left Jacob Fatu alone, Cody Rhodes might still be the WWE champion. So Jacob Fatu was standing there with Cody Rhodes last night, and Cody is throwing his past criminal record at him. It's that same action that landed you in jail on multiple occasions. And Jacob Fatu went on to say, oh, you want to go there? Nobody really knows anything about me. You know, I started with the WWE, and I almost got fired before I even started. I had no money to my name. I have 7 kids and a wife at home. And Jacob Fatu just kind of got personal himself. He didn't want Cody to really bring out the real Jacob Fatu. He said Jacob Fatu was not in control, and he acted irrationally at 3 stages of hell. And Jacob Fatu promised, oh, Cody, I'm very much in control. So that was what they showed you tonight. Jacob Fatu was very much in control. He attacked Cody Rhodes before the match even started, and the match never even got started, lasting 15 minutes without a sound of a bell and no referee. He took out Cody as soon as the match started or was about to start. So I thought what they did, the brawl was fun. McIntyre showed his dominance as the WWE champion. You can't make him look like the third wheel here. He's got to be the most important figure in this feud. If they are going to take this to WrestleMania, they got to make Drew McIntyre the most important figure of this feud, and they did. He ended up taking both guys out because he doesn't want to wrestle both guys. Both guys are gunning for him. McIntyre was right to take both guys out. It fits the narrative. And the narrative of Cody and Fatu, what they did last night, they also took care of that today by giving you the brawl and not the match. Now they go into the Royal Rumble. Are they going to be in the Royal Rumble? If they are in the Royal Rumble, what's going to happen? Are they going to be gunning for themselves? Or are they going to make a statement and try and win the Royal Rumble? Seems like one of those deals where they might want to take each other out, and winning the Royal Rumble might not be of the utmost importance anymore. Because how can Cody win the Royal Rumble if Jacob Fatu is there? How can Jacob Fatu win the Royal Rumble if Cody Rhodes is there? Does Jacob Fatu even want to win the Royal Rumble? I'm assuming he does, being that he wants Drew McIntyre. They might not even make the Royal Rumble. Because like I said before, if I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm going right to Nick Aldis. Well, you suspended me and fined me with no hesitation. These guys beat up how many fucking officials and how many security guys? Are you going to levy a suspension down upon them? Are you going to give them a fucking hefty fine? Are you going to pull them from the Royal Rumble? These guys are a menace. They don't belong on Friday Night SmackDown. They make Friday Night SmackDown a lot more fucking dangerous. I don't want either of these guys in my way. They don't belong in the Royal Rumble. They don't deserve a spot at WrestleMania. Look at what they did. Look at the carelessness that they showed you against WWE officials. That's got to be a narrative that's at least in the back of his mind. So I enjoyed what they did here. And the most important thing that they did was preserve Cody and Fatu. Neither one of these guys could walk into this show losing this match. Fatu just got back. He hasn't wrestled the singles match in God knows how long. Cody Rhodes just lost the WWE Championship. He's not losing 2 matches in a row. No matter if the first match with Drew McIntyre on January 9th was caused by Jacob Fatu helping Drew McIntyre win the WWE Championship. They're not going to have Cody lose twice in a row. But the most important thing of all is they preserved Cody and Fatu. You don't want to give this away too much if this is the current direction for WrestleMania. Preserve it, keep it fresh, keep it new, unique, and when the time comes, then you get them in the ring, and you get them in the ring when something of the utmost importance is on the line, and that is the WWE Championship. I don't know if Cody is going heel. I doubt he's going heel. It's something that I would love to see. I don't think Cody's going heel. I just think they're going to give him a harder edge as far as a character goes. Jacob Fatu, I don't really know where they're going with Fatu. We got some tweener reactions tonight. He got a decent reaction coming on out. He got booed when he attacked Cody on the top rope during his entrance. I don't know where they're going with Fatu. I genuinely don't. Fatu is either going to get booed in certain parts or cheered in certain parts. It's going to be an in-between reaction for him. I don't know what WWE wants to do as far as his presentation. I don't care either way. I think Jacob Fatu is a better heel than he is a babyface. I didn't really find myself emotionally attached to Jacob Fatu as a babyface. They didn't really do him justice either. What they need to do with Jacob Fatu is let Jacob Fatu be Jacob Fatu. That's where they fucked up. And I hope WWE honestly realized the mistakes that they made in year 1 of Jacob Fatu. They had this guy out there battling fucking Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship, and he did nothing to make himself unique. He came out, he started fucking shaking like a rabid animal. He was nothing more than a catchphrase merchant, yada mean, and all gas, no brakes, and all this other shit that they want to fucking find a way to merchandise and put on fucking shirts and lunchboxes and hoodies and all this other shit. Let him go out there and be a fucking thug. That's where Jacob Fatu resonates. Let him go out there and be a fucking savage animal. That's where Jacob Fatu is going to resonate. That's what we saw tonight. Do not stray from that. Do not. That's the Jacob Fatu that fans are going to become emotionally invested in. The more you make this guy artificial and the more you make him a fucking manufactured product of the WWE machine, his special feeling is not going to be special anymore. WWE, hopefully, because the last 48 hours have given me a little bit of hope. At least in the last 48 hours, WWE has given him that clear direction. Like, you're going to go out there and be Jacob Fatu. Just be Jacob Fatu. Go out there and speak like Jacob Fatu would speak to somebody on the fucking streets who's got a problem with him. Yada mean, all gas, no brakes. Bro, what are you doing? This guy's not fucking Roman Reigns, okay? Have him go out. It's like they were treating him like big dog Roman Reigns. Bro, this is not the type of guy that you need to manufacture and fucking try too hard with. You got a winner in Jacob Fatu who's just walks in and fucking commands attention. You legitimately don't need to do anything else. So hopefully WWE has understood the mission and are going to give us Jacob Fatu. That Jacob Fatu is going to make Cody Rhodes better. That Jacob Fatu is going to make Cody Rhodes more interesting. That Jacob Fatu is going to be, if the plan is Jacob Fatu in the main event of WrestleMania with either one of these guys, that Jacob Fatu is going to make for a great WrestleMania main event. No questions asked. So I thought what they did here was great. They went about it the right way, and it certainly set up a little bit more of an intriguing angle going into the Royal Rumble, which they desperately needed. This is the big angle going into the Royal Rumble. What is going to happen now? Are there going to be consequences for Cody and Jacob Fatu? Are they going to be in the Rumble? Do they care about winning the Rumble? Or do they want to take themselves out? How is Roman going to get involved? Is Roman going to get involved? Remember, family is in the Rumble. Jay, Jimmy, Roman, all in the Rumble. Cody's going to have an uphill battle if he's got Jacob Fatu and the rest of the fucking Anawais in the Royal Rumble. It may not be Cody versus Jacob. It may be Cody versus the entire fucking bloodline. Again, an interesting aspect going into the Royal Rumble. I thought what they did was very good. Women's Tag Team Championship. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. Before we got to that match, Kathy Kelly interviewed Drew McIntyre. He was walking through the back. Kathy Kelly asked him what had happened with the brawl outside in the opening match between Cody and Jacob Fatu. McIntyre said that anyone coming for his title can expect the same treatment he just gave Fatu and Cody Rhodes. So he understands that he's being targeted as the WWE champion, and McIntyre is going to take out everybody that is gunning for his championship, which is the right move if you are Drew McIntyre. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky come out first. They got a very good reaction. Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez come on out. They look great together. Love both of these ladies. Sky and Morgan start the match. And Morgan eats a drop kick from Io at the start of the bell. She comes back, throws a big back elbow out of the corner after the drop kick. Roxanne tagged in. They both went for a double suplex, did Liv and Roxanne. Io fought them off, took out Roxanne with a chop block. Perez tried to crawl out of the ring. Io catches her before she does. So she's hanging on to the ring apron. Referee is trying to fix the ring apron as she gets dragged back into the ring. Morgan snuck in, started to choke out Io on the ropes. Morgan tags back in, hits a quick code breaker. Io decided that she would kick out at a 2. Good, because she needed to retain the titles. Morgan threw Sky around, and she hits 3 amigos in honor of Dirty Dom. Io kicked out. Rhea Ripley has not been in the ring yet, legally. Roxanne comes back in, laid in some elbows to the back of Io's head. Io reached for Rhea's tag, but Roxanne held her back, and she puts the boots to her, stopping her from tagging in Rhea Ripley. So Io is trying to come back. She rolls through with a double stomp. So we get multiple hot tags made. So Rhea Ripley gets a hot tag and Liv Morgan gets a hot tag. So they are reliving their rivalry from only a year ago here. Rhea comes in and she immediately takes out Liv Morgan. Big punches, ground and pound. She hits a big fall away slam. Big drop kick to Morgan that sent Liv right across the ring. Rhea Ripley wanted Riptide. Morgan countered into a code breaker. Rhea Ripley caught her and picked her up for a razor's edge. Morgan gets out, slides back on Rhea, tags in Roxanne. She headbutted Morgan and then dropped a big boot right into Roxanne's face. So Rhea Ripley ended up dragging Perez up to the turnbuckle. Perez fights back and Morgan grabbed a blind tag here without Rhea Ripley knowing. She ran across the ring to knock Io off the apron so Io wouldn't get involved. Perez countered Ripley into a head scissors from the top rope, and Morgan then hit a code breaker, which Rhea Ripley kicked out at it too. So some nice double team offense here by the Judgment Day ladies. Morgan and Ripley stayed legal. Ripley getting Morgan up and landing a razor's edge. Sky comes off the top rope with a missile dropkick. Perez snuck by Ripley and broke up the pin. Perez, she went around with a head scissor and planted Rhea Ripley head first with the head scissor. So Io tags back in. Morgan's in the corner. She charged and got ready for the bullet train. Morgan dodged it, hit a spinning crucifix for a 2 count. So Ripley's on the outside now. Perez and Morgan double-teamed Io until she starts fighting back to take out Liv Morgan. Roxanne Perez went for a sunset bomb. Io countered with a kick to the face. So Io goes up top for over the moonsault. Perez got her feet up, hits Pop Rocks. Perez goes for a cover, and Io kicked out at 2.75. Now, legitimately, this was the botch that could have been ultimately disastrous. So it was on this spot where Io went up top for over the moonsault. Perez got her feet up. Io popped up. Pop Rocks followed by Roxanne, and she went for a cover. Now, from what I watched, Rhea was supposed to slide in and break up the cover. Now, I don't know what had happened there in the meantime, but the referee looked like he held his hand up and did not want to count the 3 because he knew that wasn't the ending of the match, but he realized that Rhea Ripley was late in getting in the ring and breaking up the cover. Thank God Io had the wherewithal and the IQ to kick out knowing that Rhea Ripley wasn't anywhere to be found. Or maybe I'm completely off and what happened is exactly what was supposed to happen. But it looked like to me the referee was trying his hardest to not count 3. Like he knew like it should have been a 3. Io was very late in kicking out. And the referee was not going to come down with that 3 count. It just looked very weird. It looked very weird. So if you're watching this, you could honestly say that Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez almost got screwed out of the fucking titles because that referee, it looked like he blatantly held up his count. Honestly. So after that, Ripley came back and kicked Perez. She headbutted her and then hit a riptide. She tagged in Io, who wanted to go for over the moonsault, and she hits it. But before the referee could count to 3, Raquel Perez arrived and dumped Rhea Ripley on him. So this was a great spot. So she hits over the moonsault, and Rhea Ripley's in the ring playing defense, looking for Liv Morgan. So if Liv Morgan comes on in, she can come in and deflect Liv Morgan. But the thing is, Raquel Rodriguez came out of nowhere, and Rhea Ripley standing right in front of the pinfall. Raquel Rodriguez pulls Rhea Ripley, trips her up. Rhea Ripley falls on top of the pin, breaking up the cover. This was a great spot. So we saw Raquel Rodriguez out there, and she's now involved. So Raquel arrived. She dragged Io to the outside for a powerbomb, which she nailed, and it looked like it fucking sucked for Io. And then all of a sudden, Stephanie Vicari's music hit. She hits the ringside area. She runs down to the ring, so she's miraculously healed from her ankle injury, and she takes out Rodriguez with a kick over the barricade and then a splash, crossbody splash off the barricade onto Raquel, into the crowd. Back in the ring with Raquel now taken out of the equation, Perez tried to steal a pin on Io because of this chaos on the outside. Io kicked out. Perez tags in Morgan, who wanted Oblivion. Rhea Ripley blind tagged in and nailed her with the Riptide before stacking her up and getting the 1, 2, 3 to retain the title. First of all, this tag team match was very good, very energetic. Crowd was into it, and all four ladies were great. Minus that one potential botch, I thought this was a very good tag team match. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win now. And I do think that with Julia and Kiana James coming up, I do think that they will continue on as tag team champions. I don't know where we go with Rhea and Io going into WrestleMania. They very well may walk into WrestleMania as the tag team champions. Now, I think that's beneath them, quite honestly. I'd love to see them in a more important role at WrestleMania, being that we got such a tremendous match with both of them and Bianca Belair last year on night 2. So we'll see what happens. It looks like WWE is really going all in on this tag team thing. And the way you get your women's division really spotlighted in a big way is by having all these women interacting with each other as part of tag teams, and you make one big ladder match between all these women at WrestleMania. That could be the direction. I don't know where we're going. But everybody wants the tag team championships. We may end up getting all these teams in a 5-way, 6-way ladder match at WrestleMania for the tag team championships. People have been asking for Money in the Bank to be coming back at WrestleMania. I would love to see Money in the Bank and the concept to actually live in WrestleMania again. Instead of having a fucking standalone pay-per-view, I've always been one to say, let's move Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania and get King of the Ring as one of the yearly PLEs. So we may be looking at a huge multi-woman ladder match for the tag team championships, getting all those women in the same match and spotlighting the women's division big time. Which brings me to my next point. Liv Morgan got pinned. Liv Morgan was the one to take the pinfall here by Rhea Ripley. Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vicaire is going to happen between now and the Elimination Chamber, whether it happens on Raw, whether it happens at the Rumble, or whether it happens at the Elimination Chamber. When the match happens, Stephanie Vicaire is going to retain the WWE Women's World Championship. Raquel is not going to win. She's making claim that she's going to win the Women's Championship. She will not. Do you know who will? The one who's going to win the Royal Rumble. My pick for the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble is Liv Morgan. We're getting Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vicaire at WrestleMania for the WWE Women's World Championship. That's my prediction, and I'm pretty confident that Liv Morgan is going to WrestleMania challenging for the Women's World Championship, especially after what we got tonight. Bookmark it, stamp it, do what you got to do. Come back to this. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. I think Liv Morgan's going to win the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania, and she's going to do that by winning the Royal Rumble. This was a very good tag team match, though, and good on all ladies. All four are great. AJ Styles. He went one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, AJ Styles, he actually had some ring attire that he wanted to possibly wear at the Royal Rumble when he wrestled Gunther. Now, he showed up tonight with his New Japan Pro Wrestling AJ Styles phenomenal Japanese-inspired mask. And I believe he wore this 10 years ago during his last run in New Japan Pro Wrestling before he jumped ship to WWE. This was his last hurrah in New Japan. Tonight he wore it. He broke it. He broke it out 10 years later. He wore the same getup tonight against Nakamura, somebody that he truly and genuinely respects. And he brought out that same ring attire. And I believe he may possibly wear that going into next Saturday as well, going into his match with Gunther. So I like that. I like the symbolism behind it. I like the 10 years apart deal. So good on AJ for that. This match came about 24 hours ago. I'm not the biggest Shinsuke Nakamura fan. I think WWE largely has wasted Shinsuke Nakamura. The only time Shinsuke Nakamura felt relevant in WWE was when he first burst onto the scene for NXT Black and Gold. He wrestled Sami Zayn at TakeOver Dallas, and nothing that Nakamura has done has been anything close to that. Nakamura made the main roster, and they basically buried him and fed him to Jinder Mahal, something that he is still struggling overcoming today. The long-lasting effects of Nakamura being fed to Jinder Mahal on multiple occasions in 2017 basically ruined not only SmackDown, but they ruined Shinsuke Nakamura. 9 years later, and the guy is still suffering the Jinder Mahal effect. He has not felt relevant at all. But JD, he won a Royal Rumble. It doesn't matter if he won 5 Royal Rumbles. It doesn't matter if he challenged AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 34. He's still a loser. He's still largely irrelevant. He hasn't felt special at all. He's gone from babyface to heel, back to babyface. Nothing that they've done with him has resonated whatsoever. For whatever reason, Nakamura showed up tonight, dusted off the cobwebs, and delivered the best match that he probably has delivered in what has to be, I don't know. Can you even look back at some of the great matches that Nakamura had on television? When was the last truly great near banger match that Nakamura has had? Outside the Sami Zayn match, what was the one match that you looked at with Shinsuke Nakamura that you can go back and say, this is a match that defined his WWE career? I can't bring myself to even think about it. Is there one? I don't even think there is. Maybe you guys see it differently. Sami Zayn. That's it. That's basically it. There's legitimately nothing else. Carmelo? No. Come on, man. That meant nothing. That genuinely meant nothing. John Cena? No. I don't even remember the John Cena match. Honestly. Rollins and Nakamura? I don't even remember that. Sami Zayn. We're going to go with Sami Zayn because there was nothing truly inspiring as much as that during his entire WWE run. They tried AJ Styles and Nakamura at WrestleMania 34, and they built the entire fucking storyline on the aspect of a low blow. It's exactly what they did. Nakamura had this fetish about delivering low blows to everybody. He was going below the belt on multiple occasions to AJ, and that's what they built that feud off of. The match itself suffered. We got this great match. It's like, oh my God, Nakamura, AJ Styles. It's like WWE's taking a page out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're giving us a New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom style match for the biggest prize in the company. I said it then, and I'm going to say it now. I genuinely believe Vince McMahon sabotaged AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura so that it didn't outshine Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in the main event, which ended up being a fucking disaster anyway. I genuinely believe that. Nakamura and Styles at WrestleMania 34 got the short end of the stick, and it ended up being fucking terrible. It came off unmemorable. Nobody remembers what happened. All I remember is that they got their fucking feet cut out from underneath them, and they got fucking fucked over because I feel like people there thought that they may outshine Roman and Brock Lesnar, and Vince would never allow that to happen. With two guys who are not products of the WWE. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that. With all that said, what they did tonight, what they delivered tonight, the amount of time that they were given to tell their story, they delivered a better match tonight than they did at WrestleMania 34. It feels way too early for AJ Styles to retire. Way too early. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I genuinely feel like it's way too early for AJ to retire. Like, I'm not ready for AJ to retire. I'm not. But with this match, it almost felt like to me this match was a way to give AJ something that they didn't give him at WrestleMania 34, 8 years ago. It's like they almost wanted to make good on that. Like Nakamura wanted to make good on that. If this is the last time we're in the ring together, we had that match at WrestleMania 34. I'm not happy with it. You're not happy with it. You're not doing anything Saturday night. Let's do it. If this is truly your final week in pro wrestling, I want to make good for what happened at WrestleMania 34. So just by that feeling, I feel like, are we really headed towards an AJ Styles retirement? It feels way too sudden. I'm not ready to see it happen. AJ, the way he wrestled tonight, I don't know why he looks down upon himself. I don't think AJ is ready to go yet. Physically, from a fan's point of view, I don't think he's ready to go yet. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. He's still very well top tier, elite in WWE. I don't think that's the work rate of somebody that's ready to retire yet. I don't know what that man's thinking. Does he want to quit and spend time with his family? God bless him. Is he really just completely over and done with pro wrestling? God bless him. The hardest thing to do from what we've seen as history seems to tell us that walking away is the most difficult thing to do. Walking away from something you love is the most difficult thing to do. Does AJ finish up with WWE and go wrestle for New Japan? Does he go and wrestle for TNA? Things that WWE might not allow him to do while currently contracted to WWE. I don't know. Does he go to AEW? Maybe he finishes up in AEW. Maybe he gets that match with Kenny Omega that he wants before he calls it quits. I don't know. Maybe he gets that match with Will Ospreay before he calls it quits. I don't know. Couple of great matches waiting for him over there. I don't think he goes over there because if he's already telling everybody now that his body's breaking down and he doesn't want to embarrass himself, that means he's going to have to turn it up even more so to wrestle that type of style, which is going to risk him making more mistakes. Why would he do that to himself? He would basically be going back on what he's already told us. Now, this match with Gunther, I don't know how they're going to go about it. I feel like WWE's got their backs against the wall here because they gave you a stipulation that they realistically should have saved for WrestleMania. I don't know why they gave it to us now in Saudi Arabia. And I get it. AJ debuted with WWE 10 years ago at the Royal Rumble, and 10 years later, he's looking at retirement in WWE. I get it. The symbolism is there. But does AJ want to retire at the Royal Rumble? Does AJ want to retire in Saudi Arabia? Like, it's very bizarre to me that WWE at least didn't come to AJ with a little bit of a contract renewal. Hey, we'll take you through WrestleMania. We want you to be at WrestleMania. We want you to retire at WrestleMania, and we'll give you the proper send-off. It's very weird to me that AJ maybe didn't go to WWE and say, well, guys, I don't want to retire at the Rumble. Can we get something done so that I can get to WrestleMania? Because I want to retire there with you in the proper way, which would have been against Gunther. Why they didn't do any of this, they may very well have. We don't know. It's not going to be readily available to us. They very well could have done all that. But then they gave us this stupid stipulation where AJ's got to go into the Rumble and he puts his fucking career on the line. The one big holdup is Gunther. You can't have Gunther ask for AJ to put his career on the line and then have Gunther fucking lose. If Gunther loses at the Rumble, you instantly wipe away everything that he did by beating John Cena. You throw a huge fucking fuck you to John Cena. John Cena put over Gunther on December 13th. You don't take that and immediately, the first PLE of the year, give it right back to somebody else in AJ Styles. That's not the way this was supposed to work out. Now, there's a rumor going around. There's a report going around from Dave Meltzer. Take it with the utmost fucking grain of salt. I don't know if this is what WWE is thinking. Apparently, WWE has a backup plan for both AJ Styles and Gunther at the Royal Rumble. So with the retirement of AJ Styles possibly coming at next Saturday's Royal Rumble, Gunther asked for Styles to put his career on the line. Styles agreed. And according to Dave Meltzer, WWE might be exploring a solution that keeps both men strong coming out of next weekend's Rumble. One potential creative direction would see Styles beat Gunther in the earlier portion of the night, and then Gunther would enter the Royal Rumble and win the men's Royal Rumble, keeping him strong, which also keeps at the same time AJ still as an active in-ring competitor, at least through WrestleMania. I don't understand why they would give Gunther the Royal Rumble. Do you want to see Gunther win the Royal Rumble? I genuinely think that if WWE takes Gunther and gives him the Royal Rumble, you really are going to push the limits of the fans who already don't even want to see Gunther to begin with. Will it be Gunther overexposure? Like, he's already beaten John Cena. He's already held the WWE World Heavyweight Championship twice. He's already the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time at 666 days. The guy's been a champion for 75% of his WWE career. Now you want him to win the Royal Rumble, main event WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship again against CM Punk. A match that I don't really even give a shit about seeing again. You want to risk that by having him win the Royal Rumble. I don't think that's a good idea at all. You're really testing the fans' patience there. You got a winning formula with Gunther right now. But WWE got a little fucking antsy. They got a little anxious. And they dropped the stipulation that should have been at WrestleMania 4 months earlier. Here at the Rumble. Gunther should not win the Royal Rumble. I don't know how we go about it. The only way out of this now is a no contest or a fucking double count out of sorts, which keeps AJ Styles' career intact, and neither guy walks away the winner or loser. What do they do? What do they do? Now, I don't know if necessarily Dave is giving us a genuine report. Sounds like more of an opinion. I mean, we talked about that on Tuesday Night. I wouldn't be surprised if Dave actually got it from TNT, because we brought up that same fucking scenario. We legitimately brought that up on Tuesday, me and Jason. Well, maybe Gunther wins the Royal Rumble. I'm not interested in that. I'm not. This match was very good. This was a lot better than their WrestleMania 34 match. And this was probably the best Shinsuke Nakamura match in many, 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 many years. So the bell rings. They took their time to lock up. They were feeling each other out. Crowd was very invested in this. Nakamura grabbed the headlock. Styles shot him off the rope. They locked up again. Nakamura went for a side headlock takedown. They wrestled through some back and forth exchanges. Styles went for a leapfrog off the ropes. Nakamura hit him with a dropkick. They separate, they reset, they lock up again. Nakamura pushed Styles to the ropes. He backed off at the referee's request. Nakamura backed up and he did his come on, landing a dropkick and a backbreaker. Styles pushed Nakamura to the corner to get him off of him. Nakamura punched him in the midsection. Styles comes back with a big roaring elbow, sending Nakamura to the outside. Styles then jumps over the top rope, leaps onto Nakamura, taking him out on the floor. He then threw Nakamura back into the ring, and he caught a kick to the back of the head, did Styles. Nakamura is now on the offense here, hits Styles with a running knee. Nakamura dropped the knee onto Styles' face. He kept control of the match, working the match to his pace. Nakamura grabbed the headlock, shoved Styles into the corner, stood on his neck, some good vibrations. Nakamura went for a stomp. Styles rolled through, popped up with a big clothesline, takes Nakamura down. Styles hits a sliding forearm, which looked fantastic. and then hit Nakamura with a neck breaker. Nakamura kicked out at the attempted cover here by AJ. Kicks out at a 2. Styles went for the Styles Clash. Wanted to end it. Nakamura was not having any of that. He countered that, got out of it, hits a running knee to take AJ out. He starts kicking Styles in the chest. Nakamura then hits a sliding German suplex off the second rope and nailed Styles with a flying knee. Styles kicked out at a cover as Nakamura went for a 2 count. So then Shinsuke sets up for the Kinshasa. Styles got out of the way and pulled him down for a calf crusher. Nakamura is now writhing in pain and he crawls through the ropes to break up the hold. Styles then wrapped Nakamura's knee around the ropes. He's now working on the leg. He's working on the knee. And he wrenched it before dragging him in the middle of the ring and applies a mid-ring calf crusher. Styles held on to it, and it was a little bit with the calf crusher spot here. Nakamura did not tap. Nakamura almost made it to the ropes, but Styles pulled him back and tried to reset the calf crusher. Nakamura used that to turn the offense back in his favor, and he landed a triangle choke on AJ. So they're working the leg, they're working the knee, they're giving you a glimpse as to what AJ wants to do with Gunther at the Royal Rumble because AJ has promised to tap Gunther out because of what he did to John Cena and the disrespect that he's shown John Cena. Styles lifted Nakamura up for a Styles Clash. Nakamura got out of it, and he hits a big knee right to the lower part of AJ's jaw. Styles got to his feet. He limped over to Nakamura on the mat. Styles picked him up. They start trading forearms back and forth. Styles hits his signature Pele kick. That opened him up for a Kinshasa to the back of the neck. He went for a cover, did Nakamura, but he went for another Kinshasa instead, but he foolishly made a mistake because his knee gave out. So instead of hitting the Kinshasa and going for the cover, he went for another Kinshasa to really double down on his offense, and his knee gave out. He fell to the mat. Styles hit a Kinshasa on Nakamura. He went for a cover, and Nakamura grabbed the ropes to stop the count. So Styles at this point hoisted Nakamura up on his shoulders, hits a spinning slam for a 2. He went for a suplex. Nakamura countered, tried for another sliding German suplex. Again, his knee gave out. So you see the damage that the calf crusher did to Nakamura. Styles hit him with a running knee, sent him to the outside. Styles pulled him back in, went for a phenomenal forearm. Nakamura caught him with a Michinoku driver, 2.5. Styles throws a back elbow in desperation. Nakamura took him down with a sling blade. Styles hits another Pele kick out of nowhere. Nakamura is now back down on the mat. Both men were down. Nakamura is favoring his leg. Styles got to his feet, and so did Nakamura at the same time. They trade chops, forearms, and AJ is still targeting the leg. Nakamura threw a big headbutt. Styles lunged at him in an armbar. Styles rolled through it into a pinning combination. Nakamura kicked out, and in the middle of the kick out, he kicks Styles. So he had enough time here between the kick, which separated them. He tries for a desperation Kinshasa. Styles blocked it, set him up for a Styles Clash. Nakamura got out of it. He went for another Kinshasa. Styles dodged that. Nakamura hit the ring post. Styles then leapt up, hit a phenomenal forearm perfectly. He did not botch it this time. Perfect, phenomenal forearm. Styles Clash to follow, and he ends Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, if this was the WrestleMania 34 main event, I don't think we'd be talking. So the one thing that Triple H allows these guys to go out there and do on a night like tonight, where there really is no fluff, there's just in-ring action, and you got all the time in the world to do it with only 4 matches, they let these guys go out there and have the match that they wanted at WrestleMania 34. This is something that a lot of fans wanted to see. This is a lot of fans at WrestleMania 34 that got disappointed, that didn't get the match that they thought they were going to get. This was the match that they thought they were going to get there. This was excellent. This was the best match that Nakamura's had in fucking years. And AJ Styles is, again, I'm going to say it, I don't think AJ is ready to retire. That does not look like the type of guy that is ready to hang up his boots yet. He's not wrestling like the guy that is on his last fucking breath in pro wrestling. He's not. I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely hope I'm wrong and AJ is not retiring in Saudi Arabia. I don't know how they get out of it. Maybe they got other things planned that are going to deviate away from AJ and Gunther, and they really do go with a double count out to get themselves out of this sticky situation. But if Gunther retires AJ Styles now, what does that do? AJ's not ready to go anywhere. You can't tell me that AJ can't play a pivotal role in WrestleMania. Unless WWE wants to move on from this as quickly as possible and get Gunther and Lesnar at WrestleMania, which I do believe was the plan 2 years ago. I would much rather see Gunther and AJ in a retirement match the way that it needs to be, if AJ really wants to retire, and then we do Brock and Oba. That's what I'm hoping for. Somehow, some way they get out of this next Saturday. We get this match again with this same stipulation and a little bit more story behind it. And Brock Lesnar wrestles at WrestleMania against Obafemi, with Obafemi getting the huge, huge, huge stamp of approval. That's what I personally want at WrestleMania in Vegas. But this was great. For a match that just came about literally 24 hours ago with little to no story, I thought this was great. Stephanie McMahon at the Saturday night's main event host desk. She caught everyone up on what's happened so far. She set up the fatal four-way and threw it to footage of Sami Zayn arriving to the building and being mobbed by fans outside in the -7-degree weather. Number one contendership. Fatal four-way. Randy Orton, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Sami Zayn. This was basically telegraphed. There's not any big surprises here. No big surprises. We have talked about this for weeks. If you guys have watched my individual shows on Monday or Friday night, or if you watched TNT with me and the Solid Monster, we've been talking about this for weeks. Sami Zayn beat Ilya Dragunov. He qualified to be here tonight. And there was no way that WWE was going to have Sami walk into Montreal, of all places, during Saturday night's main event for a number one contendership and have him lose. There was just no way that was going to happen. There was only two winners, two logical choices here in the end. Sami Zayn or Randy Orton. Trick Williams is a heel. He's not wrestling Drew McIntyre, who's another heel at Royal Rumble. Secondly, Trick just got here. He's been here for 3 weeks. He's not ready for a WWE Championship match at all anytime soon in the near future. Damian Priest, largely boring. Think Priest is great. He's not championship material right now. I don't know if he's ever going to be championship material again. The hottest that Damian Priest has been WrestleMania 40 when he won the WWE Championship, World Championship from Seth Rollins. That was it. Or Drew McIntyre. He has not reached that height of popularity or height of hotness in WWE since. Which I'm surprised by, because WWE had him beat Aleister Black. I thought they'd at least keep his momentum. Randy Orton, I've said it from day one. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, not really interested in seeing that at the Royal Rumble. I think Sami and Drew, with their story, and Sami being over in Saudi Arabia, being the hometown babyface there, I think that works better than Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. And I think Randy Orton being in the Royal Rumble with all of everybody else that has a good chance of winning it is a lot more intriguing, especially Cody Rhodes. So I think Randy in the Rumble was more of an intriguing option than Randy and Drew McIntyre. Sami Zayn was the only logical choice here. So if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you got to work with what you've been given. I've given you all of the logical thoughts about how every outcome or how every decision could transpire and factor into Drew McIntyre's match. None of them work but Sami Zayn. So I'm not really surprised why anybody is surprised that Sami Zayn won or upset that Sami Zayn won. He was always slated to win, and that's exactly what you got tonight. Now, I did predict Sami would pin Trick Williams. I genuinely thought that with Trick Williams kind of confronting Randy Orton and confronting Sami Zayn and Sami wanting to humble Trick Williams and the way the show went off the air on Friday with Trick Williams getting RKO'd, I thought Sami would be the one to pin Trick Williams and humble the young rookie and get a win over Trick. I don't think a win over Trick would have harmed Trick in any way in a fatal four-way. Everybody knows he's not ready. His star power, his 3-week run on the main roster wouldn't have been derailed by losing to Sami Zayn. I'm genuinely shocked they didn't actually go with that and went with Damian Priest. I was actually shocked not because Trick Williams is the new guy and you got to preserve him and protect him. Damian Priest looked to have won the feud over Aleister Black. I thought they were going to give him a nice string of momentum. But they ended up having him take the pinfall here. But if you guys remember on Friday Night SmackDown, Damian Priest and Sami Zayn got into a back and forth, and they got into a little tension-filled face-to-face. So maybe they went with Damian Priest because he was the easiest of the options. Sucks for Damian Priest. I thought he had a little bit of WWE backing him, giving him a little bit of momentum, but I guess not. This was very fun. Predictable, but very fun. Orton made his way out first. And then out came Priest. Then out came Trick. And Sami Zayn got the hometown pop coming out last. So bell rang. Williams bailed from the ring. He didn't want anything to do with these guys. He was playing the typical heel here. Orton went for an early RKO, missed, sending Priest outside. That left Orton and Sami in the ring to start the match. Williams grabbed Zayn by the ankle, dragged him out of the ring. Orton followed and took out Williams. Priest then launched himself off the steps and took out both Orton and Williams with a big cross body block. So we go back into the ring. Priest and Zayn fought. Priest tossed Zayn from the corner to corner. He went for a suplex. Orton got involved with a big headbutt, sending him back out. Orton and Zayn locked up with Orton throwing him into the corner. Zayn reversed it, and he starts punching away at Randy Orton. Trick Williams, he finally gets in there and starts going to work. He stomps on Orton, shoving him out of the ring. He then turns his attention and starts going after Sami Zayn, and he is very much getting that heel heat. They love his entrance, but he's definitely the heel here. Williams threw Zayn into Orton, hits a big neck breaker on Sami Zayn, which looked great. He goes for a cover, he gets a 2 count. He then throws Zayn into the corner. He bounces him off the turnbuckle. Zayn is starting to come back now. He throws some big chops. Trick Williams hit him with a spinning kick, which looked great. That allowed Damian Priest to slam Trick down for a 2 count. Priest then sets up Zayn for a pile driver. Zayn countered with a tornado DDT. And then we get the Olay chants starting. I love the Canadian Olay chants. They're very infectious. So Orton catches, or rather Zayn catches Orton in a Blue Thunder Bomb attempt. Orton blocked it and landed his snap power slam and then starts his signature clotheslines on Williams. Orton grabbed Priest, dropped him with a draping DDT. Trick comes back in just in time. He gets kicked in the midsection, which allowed Zayn to hit a Blue Thunder Bomb on Orton, which looked great. And he kicks out of the 2. Orton crawled to the corner. Zayn charges for a Luva kick. Trick Williams intercepted him. Priest threw some big boots at Williams, who slid out of the ring. Priest followed with a move, and Williams caught him with a bookend on the barricade outside, which gave Sami a chance to land a dive on both of them through the ropes with a tope suicida. Orton picked up Zayn on the outside, and Zayn countered it, slamming him on the announce table. Zayn then scrambled back into the ring and hit a haluva kick on Damian Priest, but Trick Williams pulled the referee out of the ring to stop the 3 count. Smart move. Trick Williams is showing you he's got some nice ring IQ. Orton then grabbed Williams and slammed him onto the announce desk right in front of Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. Then he grabbed Zayn again to the outside and did the same thing to him. He then grabbed Damian Priest and he slammed him on the table as well. And Trick, he got another one for his troubles. So Trick got 2 of them while everybody else got 1. So Orton tossed Williams back into the ring. Williams rolled away. That left Orton open for a roll-up from Sami. Sami gets a 2 count on the roll-up. Orton then hit the ring, and he charged as Zayn got out of the way. Zayn went up top, but Orton moved. Orton went for the RKO. Zayn dodged it. Zayn fires up. He went for a big kick. Orton landed the RKO on Sami. Williams ran in, grabbed Orton, tossed him out of the ring. He tried to pin Sami off of Randy's RKO, but Priest broke up the cover before the referee could count 3. I love what they did with Trick Williams here. Trick Williams trying to be the ultimate opportunist to try and sneak out a victory. And Wade Barrett says it's not about how you get it done. You just got to get it done. This is the World Championship match on the line at the Royal Rumble. You got to get it done. Love the way that Trick Williams used his ring IQ to take advantage of these types of situations. It really makes him look a lot better in the end. So after that, he threw Orton at Priest, who hit a chokeslam. Williams tried to steal, shoving Priest out of the way for a 2 count. Priest rolled out in time for Sami to hit Trick with an exploder in the corner. This is where I thought it was going to end. Zayn ran for the Helluva Kick. Williams moved as Zayn hit the top turnbuckle. He tweaked his knee. Williams goes up top. Zayn ran up from behind him and grabbed him. Priest hit Zayn and got him in a razor's edge. Priest then turned his attention to Williams, which left Priest open for the Helluva Kick, and Sami got the pin on Damian Priest. He gets the 1, 2, 3. He's now heading towards the Royal Rumble in a one-on-one match for the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. Quickly after the match, McIntyre runs down to the ring. He tries to drop Zayn right then and there mid-celebration. Zayn saw it coming, tossed him out of the ring, and the show went off the air with Sami Zayn and fireworks going off and Drew McIntyre failing to get the best of Sami Zayn before we get to Saudi Arabia. I thought this was one of the better Saturday Night main events that they've done. I thought this was very focused. I thought this was very straightforward, predictable, but I thought it was very straightforward, and we got some really great wrestling tonight. The Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes brawl was fun. They set up a lot of intrigue coming out of that going into Saudi Arabia, going into the Royal Rumble next Saturday. The women's tag was fun and energetic. It was very high-paced and high-speed. I love what those 2 ladies there did, or 4 ladies rather, did there with Rhea and Io retaining. Rhea pinning Rhea pinning Liv rather. I do think Liv is going to win the Royal Rumble. I think with that outcome, I think Liv Morgan now and the odds of her winning the Royal Rumble have tremendously jumped up. Stephanie Vicaire showed back up. She took out Raquel Rodriguez. I think that match is going to happen sooner rather than later. We may see that at the Royal Rumble. I don't know. They may add a 5th match to the Royal Rumble. That's innocent enough just to get that out of the way so then we can focus on Stephanie and Liv Morgan. AJ Styles, not ready to hang it up yet. The guy's still too good at this stage of the game. Nakamura delivered his best match in fucking years. They both delivered a better match than they did at WrestleMania 34 by a country mile. And predictably, but fun, Sami Zayn won the Fatal 4-Way, and he's going to the Royal Rumble against Drew McIntyre. I thought tonight was a very good show. Predictable, yes. A very good, very fun 2 hours of Saturday night's main event, which I thought was probably, out of all the Saturday night's main events we got so far, I thought this was the most fun in a while. So thank you guys very much for all your support. If you did enjoy tonight's stream and tonight's discussion, I would love if you give me a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling. Hit that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. All that stuff helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And the best way to support me and what I do here on a nightly basis is the Super Chats. They are open. They will remain open. Get them on in. We'll hang out in just a little bit. First, I want to kick it to my great sponsor tonight. Great friends of the podcast, Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/script. You guys are going to use that promo code SCRIPT at checkout to save 10% off on anything they have on their website. Tell them that JD from NY and Off the Script sent you over there. Turtle Beach, tonight's sponsor, right here on Off the Script. All right, listen. Before I put these guys in the dirt on Kill Confirmed, I got to talk about something I'm genuinely obsessed with right now, and that's my Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 3 headset. You know that feeling back in the day when you booted up Call of Duty late at night, lobbies fill up, everyone's talking trash, and you just knew you were locked in? Gaming felt different back then, didn't it? It wasn't just something you played, it was an experience. And if you didn't have a good headset, you were already at a disadvantage. That's exactly why Turtle Beach brought back the Stealth 700 headset. Same nostalgic vibe, except now the audio is insane. The surround sound is next level, and the battery life is borderline ridiculous. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this headset gives me an edge. I hear footsteps before these guys even realize they spawned. I'm calling out enemies, I'm collecting tags, snapping onto targets, as you guys see here with my M8. And that's why I'm sitting at 40 kills and 10 deaths at the end of this gameplay. This isn't luck. It's audio advantage. The comfort, it's unreal as well. These memory foam ear cushions are so comfortable, I forget I'm even wearing them. I've had marathon sessions where my old headset would have tapped out faster than a jobber on main event. Not these. I can wear them for hours without any pressure or any fatigue. And let's talk about the battery life. 80 hours. That's 80. We all have that one friend whose headset dies at the worst possible time. Final moments, clutch situations. Suddenly he's gone. Couldn't be me. With the Stealth 700, charging is basically an afterthought. The dual wireless crossplay system is another game changer. I can switch between console and PC with one click. Plus, I can connect my phone at the same time. Music, calls, listening to the Solid Monster, whatever. All while I'm gaming. No disconnecting, no nonsense. It just works. And Turtle Beach isn't just headsets. They got controllers, keyboards, mice, flight and racing gear. If you're upgrading your setup for the new year, Turtle Beach has got you covered. So if you want to bring back that golden era feeling, but with modern performance, this is the move. Head to turtlebeach.com and use code SCRIPT for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off at turtlebeach.com with promo code SCRIPT. That's SCRIPT. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show and tell them that we here on Off the Script sent you over to Turtle Beach. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. It's a new year, guys. Get yourself some new gear. Oh, man, that M8 is fucking great, huh? One of my favorite guns in the game, and they nerfed everything else into the fucking ground, so I got nothing else to use. But Turtle Beach, man, that was a great gameplay there. turtlebeach.com/script. Use that promo code SCRIPT at checkout. Go get yourself something nice, and make sure you guys start beasting like I do on Black Ops 7. Anyway, let's get into your super chats, and then I may actually hop on some Black Ops 7 and some Arc Raiders tonight. I mean, it's going to start snowing. Hopefully, it doesn't. As bad as they say it's going to snow, but it's supposed to start here around 3 a.m. I'm not looking forward to it, man. Hopefully, you guys are safe out there, wherever you may be. Let's get into these super chats. Thank you guys for a great show tonight. Had fun. It's nice when we can be positive every now and then. For all the naysayers out there, oh, JD is so negative all the time. Clearly, you're not watching the product. What is there to be positive about? The positive is very slim. Slim pickings out there. It's mostly negative. I didn't know I had to be positive all the time. Joseph Terrell with a $6 super chat. JD, I've been watching you for 4 years. Too many years. Thank you for putting Minnie and Wheezy in their place. Those two are cancer to the IWC. Listen, man, Wheezy blocked me on Thursday, Friday. I don't care. It's amazing how everything got started over a fucking tweet that had nothing to do with them. I retweeted Impact's post about Chris Van Vliet being in the front row, and I said he's a bigger celebrity than everybody that they invited there combined the week before. Meaning the AMC D-list Hollywood row that interacted with Ryan Nemeth and Perez Hilton. And Candice Michelle, who never fucking wrestled for the company. In what world, on what planet are Wheezy and Minnie celebrities? I wasn't even talking about them. I didn't tweet with the intent to talk about them. I didn't tweet with intent to make fun of them. I didn't tweet with intent to have any interaction with them. They threw themselves into the discussion because apparently their TNA streams were so fucking dismal number-wise that they needed some sort of excitement on Thursday night. So they figured, let's pick JD and interact with him and for no reason throw him under the bus. Meanwhile, these two have been going at it with me for months because I mentioned fake reactors. Yet they make fun of the Mustang and the Dark Horse and the Tiki Bar. Like, I don't fucking know what they say. That's fine. And then everybody jumps in and chimes in. JD's misogynistic. JD hates women. JD is this. JD is that. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants him here. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, one of the biggest misconceptions of all time is that JD is misogynistic and JD is racist. I don't give a shit what you are, who you are, where you're from, what planet you're from, what color your skin is. If your content sucks, your content sucks. If you pick a fight with me for no reason, I will try my best to make you look stupid. None of that tweet had anything to do with them. None of it. I'm the innocent party there. They made themselves look stupid. And then Wheezy says, fuck you for making me look stupid too. You made yourself look stupid. You interacted with me. I didn't have to do anything. Everybody in the fucking thread made all of you look stupid. Because everybody realized that I wasn't talking about them. Leave me alone, man. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. You know, why would anybody be upset that they landed a TNA gig to go to that show? This is what I was laughing about while they were going back and forth at me or with me on social media. Like, who's genuinely jealous that you landed a gig to go to this TNA show, really? What do those tickets cost? Fucking $20, $25? You got them for free. Fantastic. Congratulations. Here's your little fucking golf clap. You spent more money. This is what's ultimately ridiculous. And they'll be like, oh, well, we spent time and played Uno with all our friends, and we played Mario Kart. Fuck out of here. You took $20 tickets to go watch TNA on AMC, to go make content for vlogs that nobody gave a shit about, to go spend more money. How much more money? At least 4 or 5 times more money on getting an Airbnb and a flight that TNA didn't pay for, because why the fuck would they? You took yourself to Dallas, Texas to go sit at a TNA show that was one of the worst shows of the last 10 years. Yes, I'm so incredibly jealous that I didn't get invited to TNA. I don't even watch TNA. The only reason why I watch TNA is because Mike Santana won the World Championship. I have a vested interest in that man's career. It's unbelievable. How stupid. How stupid. My stream made more money on Thursday covering the show. Probably more money than it took to buy the fucking Airbnb for all 7 or 8 of you that you went there. Who gives a shit? I don't go to none of these shows, man. My audience is too big to attend these shows. Yes, let me give up a WrestleMania payday, easy 2 G's in the bank just based off YouTube ad revenue, and go to WrestleMania and give up a fucking audience of 9,000 people on a fucking WrestleMania night. You kidding me? Bro, there are levels to this, man. Levels to this shit. I'm not going to willingly give up my content to go sit at a fucking pro wrestling show and get jealous and envious over the fact that I'm not there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. The problem is the content that people create nowadays is uncreative, disingenuous, and it's trash. It's trash. There's no creativity in anything anybody does. You're all streaming from your fucking bedrooms with your stuffed animals and your fucking title belts and your shit production, your messy fucking slob-like bedrooms. Bedroom streamers. There's levels to this shit. Then you got people telling me, oh, anybody can do this. Really? If anybody can do this, I'd love to see you do it at the consistency that I do, at the level that I do it, with the audience that comes out every single week and the money that I make. Should I have my tax guy call you to see how successful I really am? Honestly. Oh, it's not about the numbers. Well, nobody gives a shit about the numbers. This is a fucking business. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why people want to throw that in my face? Well, why did you mention the numbers? Because you don't have numbers. This is my business. This is my livelihood. This is how I put fucking food on my table. This is how I put a roof over my head. This is how Freddy has his fucking favorite treats and food and all the toys he could ever want. What do you mean it's not about the numbers? Everything is about the numbers. A business is about numbers. Why do you want to be down? Why do you want to be in a situation where you look at your year-over-year numbers and you're trending downwards? If you're not paying attention to the numbers, if you're not looking at the numbers, if you're not looking at the analytics, what the fuck are you doing here? There's no such thing as making content for the fucking fun of it. It starts out being fun, and then it turns into a fucking business. And if you're not taking it serious as a business, you're not going to be successful. If there's one fucking person you need to listen to when it comes to running a YouTube channel, it's me. I've been doing this way too long, and I know the ins and outs and what really needs to happen here. And another one, they love to compare me to Jim Cornette. You do realize that when you compare me to Jim Cornette, you're putting me in the stratosphere of the #1 show in the entire fucking community. So I love when people say that. Oh, he's just as bad as Jim Cornette. That's great. You just listed me alongside Brian Last and Jim Cornette, who have the #1 show weekly, every single week. No matter what their audience is. People look at that audience as, oh, they hate women, they are this, they're that, they're derogatory, they're nasty, they're Trumpers, whatever the fucking case may be. Those people are probably more smart and more genuine than anything. Honestly. They don't take shit from nobody. They know what they like, they know what they don't like. It's unbelievable to me. But I'll never get over this narrative. JD's a misogynist. What are you talking about? You don't know anything about me. You don't know who I am, where I live, what I'm about. Oh, everybody hates JD. None of these people know anything about me. They don't know anybody that knows me at all. At all. The people that I allow into my life are the people that I want there. You don't know anything about me. It's unbelievable, these narratives that get spread out there, these narratives that seemingly just bleed onto social media. Because I don't like pro wrestling. I'm an evil individual. Oh, he said something so bad about Alexa Bliss 7 years ago. It's 7 fucking years ago, man. I never thought in this day and age, people that grew up with Howard Stern and fucking Family Guy and Married with Children, I never understood people who grew up with all this are so fucking soft and offended by everything. It's unbelievable to me. I just don't get it. It's really sad, honestly. And as far as being blacklisted by AEW, good. Good. I would rather be genuine and honest than take a fucking handout by being disingenuous and not giving critiques on an otherwise dead and fucking failing product. Not everything needs to be positive and sunshine and rainbows. These people are fake. The reason why they're pro wrestling fans to begin with is because of World Wrestling Entertainment and what you grew up on. Now all of a sudden you hate the fucking WWE. You're siding with AEW because you want a fucking free handout. The only reason why these content creators are the way they are with AEW is because they saw Will Washington get hired and everybody wants to fucking be buddy-buddy with everybody. I don't care. I got the taste of the media room. Do you know what I figured out? It's a waste of fucking time. Tony Khan don't even answer any more questions anymore. He shortened them to a point where they were once upon a time almost 3 hours. Now they barely sit there for an hour. They don't want to take any fucking questions. They hate their audience. They only want people to peddle their fucking narrative so that everything is great. The perception of everything is great. Do you know why I got blacklisted, chat? I'm sure some of you know. The infamous Jade Cargill situation? That's why I got blacklisted. Because I tweeted that I didn't want to see Marina Shafir and Jade Cargill in another match after their feud was so fucking horrendous and so embarrassing that they ran it back again. And I called it out, and half the fucking women's locker room got on my case and came to the defense of Marina Shafir, who's genuinely fucking awful. Awful. I said, please, oh God, no. It's basically what got me blacklisted. So then Britt Baker chimed in, and Rebel chimed in, and Deonna Purrazzo chimed in, and Jade Cargill chimed in, and fucking Tay Mello chimed in. They all chimed in over one fucking tweet. That was the infamous tweet where Jade Cargill says, I couldn't do a pull-up. Where I live in my mother's basement. I can hear you all the way from your mother's basement. That's fantastic, Jade. That's fantastic. If I showed you a picture of where I lived, you'd shut the fuck up in about 3 seconds. I don't understand why people are so riled up by the things that I say. That's why I got blacklisted, because then Britt and the rest of the fucking locker room went to Tony to blacklist me after the fucking commotion that they caused off a fucking tweet over a match that I didn't want to see. So then AEW doubles down on it, and I saw more promotion for that match after my tweet fucking shitting all over it. Embarrassingly bad. So much more promotion for that match than anybody really cared to see. Because they wanted to prove everybody, like, this is a match that everybody wants to see. Britt Baker went to Tony Khan, and Britt Baker got me blacklisted from the AEW media. And it's never changed, and I doubt it's ever going to change, and I really don't give a shit if it changes at all. The day it's going to change is when the company is dead. And seeing how they're trending right now, that might not be too far off. Fucking ridiculous. Another thing, I see what's her name that works for Fightful. I forgot her name. She's not even important. Oh, nobody should be interacting with him. He's a fake New Yorker. He lives on Long Island. How the fuck do you know where I live? Honestly. Born and raised in the Bronx. Went to PS14 and Mount St. Michael Academy. The fuck does it mean if I live on Long Island? And even if I did live on Long Island, coming from the Bronx and coming from Forest Hills, living in Forest Hills, Queens for a little bit, if I move to Long Island, isn't that deemed an upgrade? Doesn't that really signify that maybe the channel is doing really fucking good that I could go live on Long Island with the rest of the fucking yuppies? Never in my life has success been looked down upon in the way that these people look down upon me. Oh, he doesn't deserve an audience. He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve that. He's a fucking absolute cancer to the community and everything wrong about this and that, motherfucker. If more people were like me and conducted business the way that I conducted business, maybe you'd have a successful fucking channel. Everybody is so triggered that I got ahead by being the way that I am. And the funny thing is, when people see me in real life at a meet and greet or at a show that I decide to go to or at a place or a bar or whatever, and the one comment I get is, well, you're not really the way you are online. No shit. If I was the way that I am online, why would anybody want to be around me? What we do here is entertainment. I am supposed to entertain. When the camera turns on and the microphone's in my face, I turn myself up to an 11 or 12 because I know that's what's going to get people talking. I know that's going to be what people look for. If I was as boring as half the fucking community with fucking absolute dirt fucking bedroom disaster behind me, bed sheets and fucking titles and mark fucking figures behind me, is that something you want to watch, or do you want to watch something that is going to make you say, man, this guy stands out above everybody else. This guy's got a better sound and a better look and a better delivery than everybody else. This guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. Everything that I say here is exactly what I would give to you in person, and I have. For those that have come out to the meet and greets that I've had, you know that for a fact. You know that for a fact. So I don't really understand all the discourse. All of this happened because I made a tweet about Chris Van Vliet, and they thought it was about them. And when I made them realize it wasn't about them, they were so upset because I made them look stupid that I went to sleep with a smile on my face after watching some Juggalo Championship wrestling. And I woke up the next morning and they were still talking about what was going on the night before. Over a tweet that had nothing to do with them. I guarantee both, if they ever sat down with me to have some nice espresso martinis, I guarantee you their perception of me would change within a half an hour. Guarantee it. No, but they are corrupted and they are blinded and manipulated by what everybody else says, so they run with that. And none of these people know me from a fucking hole in the wall. None of them. And that says more about them if they judge me, the human being, based on what I do here in the content that I create in the community, that they judge me based off this when they don't know a fucking goddamn thing about me. It's unbelievable. That's my rant. Joseph, thank you, brother. RKO, Michael Krause. $2 Super Chat. Good Saturday, JD, OTS. Saturday night's main event. Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Joseph Taylor with a $2 Super Chat. Jacob needs to beat Cody clean tonight. Hopefully. That came in at 5 o'clock. Clearly, Jacob, or Joseph, rather, Jacob didn't do that to Cody, and we got a no contest. Mr. Grim Boogs with a 20. And then you have the Real Pro Wrestling trolling you on his TikTok live, calling you a titleist, and that he would wipe the floor with you on the mic. You know, Mr. Grim Boogs, I have not a single fucking iota of a clue as to who that is, and there's a reason why. But he knows who I am. So then that means I'm winning. If I was to worry about random TikTokers and what they say about me, I would be way behind the 8 ball here. The fact that he knows me and I don't know him, we're going to keep it that way. There's no reason for me to know anybody outside the small circle of people that I know. You know, another thing about the community is they all want to gang up together and be like, oh, we're all working together, man. We're all working together. We're all going to grow together. That's so great. I find it funny because none of them truly get ahead on their own, and they all need each other to find some sort of fucking belonging. Meanwhile, I'm here and I'm doing my thing, and we've cultivated everything on our own with no help from anybody. And we work with who we want to work with. We work with 2 people. We work with Jesse and we work with Jason on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the way it's going to be. I find it funny, like they're the social justice police. Everybody's got to come together and work together, and we got to react together, and we got to do this together, and we got to show everybody that wrestling is fun and positive. It's like, give me a fucking break. That's not real life. It's not real life. Tone C with a new membership. Thank you, Tone C. Michelle Moran with a $2 Super Chat. An intriguing story can be Roman, who attacked Fatu. No, Roman's not the one who attacked Fatu. Michelle also with a $5 Super Chat. Bait and switch to start the show. Awful. And now they want to do Drew, Cody, Fatu at WrestleMania possibly. Doesn't sound like night 2 to me, so Cody wins the Rumble or the Chamber. Cody's not winning the Rumble. If anything, Cody's winning the Elimination Chamber. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $5 Super Chat. Who is better, Alexa or Liv? Alexa is great on merch, but Liv has grown a lot since the Rhea Dom drama. She's very underrated. In the ring, Liv. I would say Alexa's better on the microphone. Dorian with a $2 Super Chat. Zayn is the one who took Fatu out. No. No, Zayn is not the one who took Fatu out. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Bossmo Jackson with the 199. Saturday night's main event was actually a really good show. OTS for life. Thank you, Bossmo Jackson. Ethan with a 499. Do we see Sami pulling a Becky Lynch in 19, loses the title match, and then enters the Rumble and wins it? No. Now, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn is not happening at WrestleMania. If anything, Sami will win the Rumble next year and main event WrestleMania in Saudi the following year. This is going to be a long, drawn-out story. This is something that WWE is going to take their time with if people are going to remain interested. Tone C with a 35 months. Thank you, Tone C. Drinking ice-cold beer, and it's well below freezing outside. 7 degrees. OTS for life. It's pretty fucking cold, man. Right now, the temperature where I am, the temperature right now is 11 degrees. It's fucking crazy. Marshall with a 499. Hi, JD. Hope you're staying warm in this storm. I skipped Saturday night's main event to watch the AAA show instead. I completely forgot there was even a AAA show. There was a lot going on tonight. Saturday night's main event, UFC, AAA. Big Saturday night. Did anybody watch Collision? Marshall also with a 199. What I miss on Saturday night's main event? I canceled Peacock. Well, hopefully you watched the stream, brother. You would know what you missed. Michael with a 2. If you have Drew versus Cody versus Jacob, who wins? Honestly, I would either have Drew or Jacob win. I don't think Cody needs to be the champion right now. Richie V with a 499. AJ must be hurting to want to retire this early before Mania. AJ Nakamura blew their Mania match out of the water. They absolutely did. I thought what they did was great tonight. For a match that was booked on 24 hours notice and I had no invested interest in, they did great. Logan the Inspired with a 999. JD was always curious, what was the frame you stopped watching WWE because of Cena? And what was going on within WWE when you returned? I don't know, man. I think it was around the time he won the WWE title. I don't remember specifically because it was so long ago, but I do believe that it was like his rise to the WWE Championship level. I stopped watching for a full year. It might have been... When was Foley and Edge? What WrestleMania was that? 2022? I want to say it was maybe a couple years before that. That Foley Edge match at WrestleMania was fucking great. Man, that match is a classic. Yeah, it might have been a couple years before that. Thank you, Logan. Joshua with 13 months. Yeah, 22. Yeah, it was probably definitely before that. It was definitely before that. Anywhere between, I would say, WrestleMania 20 and 22. I forgot what exactly it was though. It might have been on its way to 21. I stopped watching. I want to say. Because I remember being involved in the product. I remember being involved in the product going into 23, 24, 25. I know exactly where I was for 25 because that was Undertaker Shawn Michaels. Yeah, man, I wasn't a big fan. I couldn't take them just shoving another babyface down our throats, honestly. Joshua with 13 months. I'm ready for the Monday Night Raw 2000 or 2K26 for the Switch 2 so I can play at my desk all night at work. 2K knows redoing the 90s is going to be money. What does that to do at Fanatics Fest that it costs $93 to get in the door? Like, genuinely, what does that to do at Fanatics Fest that costs $93? Mac Daddy with a $5 super chat. Difference between a microwave and a blonde. The microwave doesn't scream when you stick a piece of meat in it. Ooh. Thank you, Mac Daddy. Lenin Jimenez with a 20 in Mexican pesos. Final Fantasy intro featuring Sat Meltzer and TK in every stream, please. You like that, huh? Street Fighter with a $5 super chat. People only pop for one move. My ass. Stephanie can move the crowd when given the opportunity. Bro, they need to stop that devil's kiss shit. Seriously. She doesn't need to do it every time. Johnny Boy. $20 super chat. I'm not a fan of WWE running Fatu's character with a ghetto vibe we see online. He's not this guy despite doing jail time. Make Fatu a serious character like 25 Roman version without being a Samoan version of Latin X. And you give him a little bit of ghetto vibe, I think that's going to make him stand out. I don't want them to eliminate that from his character. I think that brings a sense of realism to what he does. Joseph Taylor with a $5 super chat. Shinsuke versus Sami. Takeover Dallas. Shinsuke versus AJ. Money in the Bank 2018. Shinsuke Seth Rollins Survivor Series 2018. None of them were better than Sami versus Shinsuke at Takeover Dallas. $9.99. Hey, JD, after listening to your WrestleMania match predictions, where do you think Breaker ends up? I'm thinking Rollins, if ready, says SRH712 with a $9.99. Rollins, I predict, will be back before Mania. I think Rollins and Breaker is the WrestleMania match. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. There's a guy in NXT named Eli Knight. Is this a troll job on LA Knight? What's going on? I didn't know that. I don't even know who the fuck Eli Knight is, bro. NXT is one of the worst shows on television. There's no way anybody finds that to be an interesting show. Now, anyway. Michael with a $2 super chat. Brock causes no contest. Brock versus Gunther WrestleMania. Well, what's the reason? You got to give me a reason. Right now, there's no reason. Filluminati with a 2. Gunther should retire Brock at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. The one thing people are forgetting is that Brock might not be going away anytime soon, especially with WrestleMania in Saudi. They are going to pay for every big-name talent that is still readily available and alive and breathing. Having WrestleMania in Saudi without Brock, I don't think we see that happen. Johnny Boy with a 20. If no Oba match, Gunther versus AJ get fucked finish with Brock. Brock is the OG as retiring legends. Gunther beats AJ at Mania in triple threat with Brock. This builds Gunther feud to retire Brock at SummerSlam. Bro, why are we getting Brock involved? Why are we getting Brock involved with Gunther when they have not had any situation where they've crossed paths? You got to have something there that makes sense. Having him just get involved for the sake of it, because we don't like an outcome, is not gonna make any sense at all. Beast Comatose with the 279. Can you see Fatu and Cody to start the Rumble? I could. I think Braun Breaker and Kit Wilson start the Rumble. Caden Crawford with a 199. What are your top 5 NXT takeovers? Takeover New York, takeover Toronto, takeover Chicago, and takeover Philadelphia. Furious Nation with a 499. If YouTube, yes. $4.99 Furious Nation. What's up, JD? Saturday night's main event was one of the best ones in a while. Not ready for the snow tomorrow, honestly. More of a summer guy, in my opinion. I am very much a summer guy, more so than a winter guy. I don't like the heat of the summer either, but give me a palm tree and warm weather and some shorts and a short sleeve shirt over this shit. Joker Fest with a 199. JD, what do you think of the new Megadeth album? 7 out of 10 for me. I would probably go a 5 out of 10. I wasn't really blown away by it. I enjoyed their cover of Ride the Lightning, but nothing beats the original. Furious Nation with a $4.99. Triple H did something Vince didn't do. Let AJ and Nakamura actually wrestle. Sure, Vince was punching air, bro. That's why I said I feel like this is a make good for what happened at Mania 34. And if they truly are looking at the last time, they let them go out there and do it. For Illuminati with a 10, hey JD, I don't know how often you hear it, but thanks for all your content. Been noticing some content creators trying to ride your coattails to gain popularity. You're the GOAT. Keep it up. Thank you for Illuminati. I do very much think that Thursday's attack was done out of boredom. I think people have this thing that they think they are going to weaken what we do here or get rid of me and stifle me from where I want to go. Nobody is doing anything. The only person that's going to fuck up is me, and I haven't done a single fucking thing that should be looked at as a fuck up this year so far. I've been very much to myself. Clone Force with a $9.99. You guys pray for me. I've been depressed because my job, very bad. The job I transferred to gave me a position I never asked to be in, and I'm only getting one day or no day to work. It affects me since I have bills to pay. I'm very sorry to hear that, Clone Force. Keep your head up, brother. Yeah, I know the work environment is tough for everybody nowadays. If you're ever feeling depressed, man, you got a great community here. You got the streams to kind of take you away from all that's not good. Get lost in what we do here, man. We're here for you. Furious Nation with a $4.99. Jinder burying Nakamura in 2017 was 100% awful. Should have never happened. And by the time Triple H took over in 22, I honestly felt like it was too late. Bro, it was too late after 2017 when they tried to give him a Rumble and a Mania main event with AJ. It was too late. WrestleMess with 13 months. Who are your top 3 comedic wrestlers of all time? That's a very difficult question, man. I don't really have an answer for you. I kind of look down on that type of stuff. You know, Santino pops into mind first. Santino had great comedic timing. Before Kurt Angle got serious and became one of the absolute fucking greatest ever, his comedic timing was fucking great. I don't know. It's tough. I'd have to think about that. I'm not really a big fan on the comedic aspect of pro wrestling. I'm not. Phantom with a $4.99. Hey, JD, let me borrow $5. I want some candy. Candy's bad for you, bro. No. Dan, the Cards fan, with a $9.99. I feel like Braun should win the Rumble. Roman wins the Chamber. I don't want Braun winning the Rumble because I don't want to see Braun versus CM Punk again. Cornell with a $4.99. If you're watching more than 2 wrestling content creators, then you're the problem. Go on a date or something. It's JD over everything. Bitches. OTS. Listen, man, I know what we do is not everybody's cup of tea. Don't really care. We do what we do. We got our audience, a great one at that. We got the numbers to back it up. We're the #1 live stream every fucking night. If you're not taking numbers and your YouTube analytics seriously, I don't know why the fuck you're in this type of fucking field. I really don't. Oh, but we're doing it for fun. No. Now, at some point, you got to grow up or get a real fucking job. If you haven't turned this into a real prime-time money-making machine by now, maybe you should get off the fact that people do care about that numbers, because this is just as a real business as anything else. Furious Nation with a $4.99. CVV actually respected, unlike the fake reactors. And JD is the GOAT. Screw Wheezy and Mini Portable, and you're not a bad person, period. Well, thank you, Furious. SRH with a $4.99. Forget the doubters and the haters. Jealousy is running wild. Just keep killing it. JD. Thank you, brother. Mr. Grim Boogs with the 10. I just watched JCW since its inception. It's nice to hear you mention them. And do you like Parkway Drive? I do not. JCW's got better production than most of the indies you come across. I don't know if that's the Vince Russo effect or not, but they have very, very good production. And the sound is really good. Hollywood Guy with a 5. JD, who do you think will pull number 1 or number 30 in the men's and women's Royal Rumble? I think number 1 will be Braun. You know what? We're gonna save that for TNT. We're gonna save that for TNT. Corona Blonde with a $1.99. Was Weezy talking shit about you? Yes, she was. To be fair, I've called them fake reactors and kind of dedicated at least 2 or 3 minutes to my TNA review when they were there, citing that having those types of people there are going to actually drive people away from your content instead of bring people to the content, and that it may anger the edgelord, Tony Khan, because if he sees you on a WWE partnered product, he may not want to invite them back to the media scrums. Dan the Cars fan with a $4.99. What's your opinion on the band Seven Dust? I love Seven Dust. Haven't listened to any of their recent stuff, but their older stuff is really good, and they are actually on tour with Alter Bridge and Daughtry for their world tour. And Furious Nation. We'll end with this one. $1.99. Who would be your final 4 for both Royal Rumbles? Well, I think Roman, Cody, Fatu, and Braun Breaker. Jericho will be there. Jericho may draw number 30. You know, we haven't really got a nice number 30 surprise yet, huh? Last couple of years, it's been kind of uneventful. Jericho may show up at number 30. I've seen some people on social media saying you should show up at number 10, having the countdown. I think Liv wins it. I think she's there with Roxanne. I think Bayley might be at the end, and Rhea. I don't know. It's tough to say. They don't announce anybody. Lavelle with a 5. What match would you choose to induct in the WWE Hall of Fame this year, and what is your favorite Royal Rumble match? My favorite Royal Rumble match is 1992. And what match would I induct into the Hall of Fame this year? Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. That's all I got for you. We're about to get out of here and anticipate the snowfall. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you did enjoy tonight's video, if you did enjoy tonight's stream, please sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about everything. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We've been a little bit more lively on TikTok, so make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok. We're nearing 30,000 followers on TikTok and growing, so go and check that out. Content going up there now weekly, so go and check that out. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and please go check out all the great content on the channel. There is plenty of it to get caught up on. I don't know. There may be some content depending on the news tomorrow afternoon, being that we'll be snowed in tomorrow. Maybe we'll make some content. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream some gaming tomorrow. I don't know. I got to find something to do. Go check all that stuff out. It's all on the homepage. Hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. All that stuff helps me out. Thank you for the super chat. Love tonight. You guys killed it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love you guys. Channel wouldn't be where it is without you guys. I wouldn't be where I am today without you guys. I owe everything to you, and the best is yet to come. We're going to make this year big. No matter who is in front of us, no matter who tries to stop us, no matter who wants to start fights for no reason, we're going to continue bringing you the brand of content that you expect. Honest, upfront, and truthful. We're always going to be ourselves. We don't know how else to be. Thank you guys for a great night. I will see you back live again from Monday Night Raw. Should be a big night. Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.